I wanted to get new, fresh people. And I feel like when people get in the studio and they're both hungry and they're both respectful of each other and they love music and there's no egos involved, something really incredible happens every single time. So I wanted to find the new sound.
When Goldmember opened in America, it became an instant smash hit, with the statistics surrounding its first weekend's business confirming it as the 5th highest grossing comedy of all time. This was good news all around, and in particular for Beyoncé, who had a lot riding on her performance as a relatively unproven actress, having only her appearance in Carmen behind her. According to Mike Myers and the film's director Jay Roach, she was a natural and a true professional. It would not be long before she was offered her 3rd movie role, The Fighting Temptations, for which she would also act as producer. Of course, there was now even more speculation about that 4th Destiny's Child album, as comparisons were being made with NSYNC, and specifically Justin Timberlake's hasty exit, on finding greater success beyond the fold as within it. It's a commonly accepted fact that artists have large egos, so why share the glory with others when you can have it all to yourself? And for Justin, whose image as fresh-faced boy next door in NSYNC had been less than flattering, selling out to become a fully fledged grown-up urban music star must have seemed like an irresistible option. With Kelly now appearing in the slasher horror movie Freddy vs. Jason, it seemed that the girls had, wittingly or otherwise, decided to prioritise. It was becoming increasingly common for singers to boost their careers with a movie or two. So why bother with all the hassles of being in a group unless you enjoy sharing the limelight with other people, when you can make music on your own, or get in other artists to duet with, or as remixers? However, in November 2002, Beyoncé was still insisting that Destiny's Child would continue to exist once the group's various solo efforts had been completed. The problem might be, though, that once the band members were ready, the world may have moved on. Hip-hop and R&B were rapidly evolving in musical terms, and 2 or 3 years was a long time to stay on hold. Then again, Beyoncé undoubtedly had the intelligence and the business acumen to judge how Destiny's Child should adapt to new trends and ideas. The latest news, as 2002 drew to a close, was that the group would definitely record again once Michelle had completed her 2nd album of gospel songs, due for release in spring 2003. By that time, Kelly's album, Simply Deep, was in the shops. It featured a duet with Solange, but there was no sign of Beyoncé. Perhaps it was time for the youngest Knowles family member to join the group. Meanwhile, Beyoncé was working on sessions for her solo album with Luther Vandross and Missy Elliott, taking advantage of the opportunity to work with great artists from the past and the present. In the new year, she began working on her next movie role as nightclub singer in The Fighting Temptations. This would be a very different role from Foxy Cleopatra, as she would now have to prove herself as a straight actress, without the extravagant costumes and knockabout irony of the Austin Powers series. If she could pull it off, more scripts would be bound to follow. Another link with black music's formidable heritage came when Beyoncé worked with Damon Elliott, whose mother, Dionne Warwick, had been one of the foremost black pop singers of the 1960s, with a string of hits written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. Damon had helped record a version of the 1958 Peggy Lee classic Fever, which was to be included on the soundtrack of The Fighting Temptations. The song had also been covered by Madonna in 1992. To round off 2002 in grand style, Destiny's Child appeared in December at the KISS 108 Jingle Ball held in Lowell, Massachusetts. They were lowered onto the stage by a hydraulic crane and grooved effortlessly through their dynamic set in the company of 8 dancers. This was a show that delighted the fans and blew any fears that they were either on the verge of disbanding or had burned themselves out. It was a fitting end to a year that had seen little action from them, but there was still no sign of that 4th elusive album.